Coming up on this edition of News Now, officials in Whitman and Hanson are warning residents about mosquito-borne illnesses. Hanson is looking to move forward with a new school project, and Whitman's special town meeting couldn't draw enough voters to conduct business. That and more right here on News Now. Welcome to another edition of News Now. This is a news program that serves the towns of Whitman and Hanson, plus looks at some of the news and issues that affect each community. Here's some of the stories that we're working on. Whitman residents were recently alerted through the town's Code Red reverse 911 system of a death from a mosquito-borne illness.
We were notified today that a recent case of Triple E involved a woman who had spent time outdoors in both Weymouth and Whitman. As a result of this infection and an abundance of caution, the risk condition for Whitman has been raised to critical. The Board of Health has directed public fields be restricted from use from dusk to dawn and recommends that residents exercise appropriate caution using mosquito repellent, covering exposed skin with clothing, and avoiding outdoor activity between dusk and dawn. The Board of Health will request additional spraying from the Plymouth County Mosquito Control.
Whitman Board of Health member Lou Diarpino says there are things that residents can do to limit the mosquito population.
The best protection you can do is to remove all standing water in your backyard. Standing water in your gutters, the bird baths, your pool covers, anywhere that you see standing water, you want to get rid of it because that's where the mosquitoes are breeding.
Meanwhile, Dan Daly, the community liaison for the Plymouth County Mosquito Control, took time to invite residents from both Whitman and Hanson to contact them for assistance.
I think the residents of Whitman and Hanson know our phone number pretty well. We get an awful lot of calls. They come out and spray for mosquitoes. I'm not sure people know that they can also call us to come out and check for breeding sites in and around their property. And certainly it's a lot easier to control mosquitoes when they're in the larval stage than when they're in the adult stage by spray. Whichever they do, whether we spray for mosquitoes, we treat the mosquitoes as larvae, we are not eliminating mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will be there. We will reduce the number of mosquitoes and therefore reduce the risk. But people really should still use bug spray to further reduce their risk of being bitten by a mosquito.
Each community has also put curfews on the use of parks or school fields. Whitman-Hanson Regional High School has also changed its sports schedule through October 11th. A project to replace the McQuon and Indian Head schools with a new elementary school in Hanson has taken another step forward. School Committee Chairman Bob Hayes took a moment to provide details on the proposed project.
Facts and figures regarding the McQuon Indian Head Elementary School replacement. The feasibility study has been completed and the project is moving forward to the voters. The voters will be coming to town meeting with the final figures. The final figures are in the $58 to $59 million range for building the new school and the demolition of the two current schools and the building of fields on both of those, on that single property at McQuon School. This is going to be a rough, if you have a house that's assessed at $306,000, your tax liability the first year will be $746, and that will be the highest. It goes on a declining scale for the next 20 years. So the total liability to the voters of the first year, or the taxpayers, I should say, of the first year will be $746,000 based on an assessed value of $360,000. As you know, both schools at current need a tremendous amount of repair. That liability, if the school doesn't get voted, will also be on the taxpayers, but it will be dollar for dollar and there will be no reimbursement. This is a financially and fiscally responsible thing to do. So ladies and gentlemen, come to town meeting, hear the proposal, see what's going on. Then it goes to, from town meeting, if it's successful, it goes to the voters in November. Come and vote. This is your town, these are your schools, these children deserve a great education.
Hanson's special town meeting is being held on October 7th in the Hanson Middle School auditorium at 7:30 p.m. The town of Whitman recently held its own special town meeting. However, due to a lack of a quorum, not much business was conducted. Selectman Dan Salvucci explains.
We just recently had a special town meeting the last week of August. Unfortunately, we didn't have a quorum of 150, only 114 showed. But we were able to take care of at least one article, the very first article, that dealt with the 15 items that we needed to be cut because of the lack of vote on the override situation. That being said, there were 6 remaining articles that we were unable to get to without the quorum. One of them was a late payment to the city of Brockton for water and sewer for around $113,000. That's a bill that needs to be paid, and we'll have to address that in a future town meeting, possibly in May, within the annual town meeting or the special. Another issue was the fact that we were looking to transfer $200,000 from our capital stabilization to put to the $500,000 that we have left from the town hall project and start the next project, the next phase of town hall remodeling with the air conditioning so that we can maintain the structure of the building and keeping the building looking the way it is today. Another few articles, we're looking at possibly a consultant to look at our town plan to see exactly where we should be going with any open space that's left in the town of Whitman. That needs to be addressed, and there's a few other articles. We wanted to transfer some Chapter 90 money out of one fund and put it into the fund where we could redo paving some new roads in Whitman. All right, paving need to be done. That couldn't be handled because of the fact that we had a lack of a quorum. So all that probably will be dealt with within the annual town meeting with the special.
Whitman traditionally holds its annual town meeting on the first Monday in May. A ceremony was held at Hanson Town Hall to swear in the town's new police chief. Town Clerk Beth Sloan swore in Michael Mix before a recent Board of Selectmen's meeting.
Faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon you as police chief to the best of your abilities in accordance with the bylaws of the town and the laws of the Commonwealth.
Thank you. After the swearing in, the new chief thanked family, friends, and his former colleagues at the Carver Police Department. He also took a moment to address the officers who will now be under his command.
Most importantly, I want to say to the officers of the Hanson Police Department, there's one thing I'll promise you, I'll do what I can for you. I love being a cop. I love to try and express that to other people. One of my philosophies is we have a lot of fun. It's a great job. And I'll stand beside you when I have to. I'll be in front of you whenever I can. And most importantly, I'll be behind you when you need me. So I'll give you that one promise.
The Whitman Cultural Council has announced that it's once again that time to submit grant applications to be considered for 2014. Last year, the council was able to award $4,800 towards summer concerts in the park, various school projects, and town library programs. The grants are made possible through funds provided by the legislature to the Mass Cultural Council, and then it's allocated to each community. For guidelines and more information, contact Ann Trotta at a.trotta@comcast.net. Applications must be postmarked by October 15th. The Hanson Fire Department is reminding residents that September is Emergency Preparedness Month. Emergencies can happen at any time. Take a few simple steps now to prepare yourself and your family. Makes the entire community more resilient and better able to respond to emergency events. To learn more about preparing before a disaster and learn about Preparedness Month initiatives, visit mass.gov/EOPSS/agency/MEMA. A new measure that would change local ambulance billing is being discussed by state lawmakers. According to Whitman Fire Chief Tim Greno, local communities stand to lose more than just control of the billing process.
There is an amendment that specifically relates to ambulance billing. At the present time, when speaking of ambulance billing, with insurance companies or ambulance billing rates, the local authority sets the billing rate. The local authority sets the billing rate, so we pick how much that we want to charge per ambulance run for different techniques done in the back of the ambulance. It's labeled as ALS1, ALS2, and then you can charge them like a little bit extra if there are more than two technicians in the back of the ambulance, dependent on the severity of either case. Since the inception of ambulance billing or ambulance work in the field, the local provider has been able to set what rates they want to set for their ambulance revenues to help sustain the operation of the ambulance services or the operations of the EMS service which the residents of that community provide. Currently, there is an amendment as part of the Senate budget which is being pushed by a private health insurance agency to limit the amount one agency can charge by allowing the insurance company to set the rates. Now, a John Doe off the street would think that that's a good thing because of the cost of health insurance, and maybe the fire services or the private ambulance companies are gouging insurance companies. That's not the fact. The fact of the matter is we don't make enough in billing to cover the cost of what we provide for services. It supplements what we bring in revenue, supplements our operational budgets. In fiscal 2012, there was 790,000 emergency transports in the state of Massachusetts. Not one of those bills was questioned by any of the insurance companies. They don't have a problem with what we bill. The issue is that they want to take local control away from setting the rates, and they want to be able to set the rates to a much lower rate for reasons unknown to anybody. They refuse to answer questions. They refuse to meet with the Fire Chiefs Association, and they will give us no answers as to why they're pushing this amendment. So the Fire Chiefs of Massachusetts have joined forces with the professional firefighters of Massachusetts and the private ambulance companies, and we are asking our House representatives, we are asking our state senators to help us change the language in the amendment, which specifically leaves setting the ambulance rates with the local authority. If we can leave it with the current wording as it is right now, which is leaving billing with the local authority, everything is fine. We continue on day to day with no issues. If the amendment passes and the insurance companies are able to set the rate versus the local authority setting it, the town of Whitman alone is set to lose over $200,000 in the ambulance revenues per year because of the new rate structure which will be put in place.
We'll step aside for a brief moment, but when we return, our Newsmaker segment, plus we will look at a new assisted living facility and a visit by the Phantom Gourmet to a local eatery. Welcome to our Newsmaker segment. This particular segment features somebody from either the communities of Whitman or Hanson. Joining us for this particular segment is the new town administrator for Hanson, Mr. Ron Santangelo. Sir, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How you doing?
Pretty good. Talk to us about yourself. The folks who may not know who you are, other than when you were introduced not too long ago during a Hanson Board of Selectmen meeting.
Okay. Well, I'm obviously a new town administrator, and I've been involved with government for somewhere about 25 years, working in all aspects of local government and state government. I had the honor to serve on my Board of Selectmen. I've had an honor to serve in the Connecticut State Legislature for 10 years, as a town administrator for 4 years, served on a police commission, a school committee, so I've been involved in all aspects of local government, and I'm looking to use that experience to help the people of Hanson.
What was it about the state of Massachusetts or the town of Hanson that attracted you to the position?
I gotta admit, Kevin, I'm a regular tourist. I love this area, particularly Plymouth County. Spend a lot of time in Plymouth on vacation. It's a beautiful area and has a lot of things going for it. Being close to the ocean is one of those things that I happen to love. The people are very friendly. You feel very welcome when you come here to visit. Particularly love Hanson. It's a nice community. Great school system, which I'm really happy about. We have an 8-year-old that we're going to be adding to the school system. So all around, I think it's a wonderful community, and it's just really building it up and trying to make it better for the people that live here.
What's some of the education that you've been getting, on-the-job education you've been getting since getting here, learning about the community that you're going to be working for?
Well, I've already reached out to almost every town department. So I've had a tour by the police chief. He's taking me around town, showing me the different areas. I've been through the fire department, through the water department. I've toured the high school, which is an absolutely beautiful high school that people should be proud of the education system they built here. So it's really right now getting to know everybody. I want people to know that the door to my office is open, that they can come here and speak to me anytime they want, and then I'm going to be somebody out in the public. They're going to see me walking the streets, talking to citizens, talking to business leaders, sort of all around getting involved in the community in every way I can.
Have you had a chance to speak with anybody in neighboring communities, especially the town of Whitman, where the two towns share a school district?
I have. As a matter of fact, Frank gave me a tour, the town administrator of Whitman, showed me town hall. We took a tour of the town. A beautiful town. I'm looking forward to working as a partner, not only with him, but all the town administrators in the area. So I'm looking for teamwork. I'm looking, how can we work together to effectively perhaps share in some things that could save taxpayers money. So it's a team approach in my thing. Frank has been great. It was very nice showing me around. I look forward to working with him.
Talk to me about dealing with town government and dealing with government down in Connecticut. How is it similar and dissimilar in your approach to coming up here?
I got to tell you, except for the terms and some name changes, it's very, very close. We have the same issues in Connecticut that you do. Trying to govern effectively with as least amount of money as possible in order to protect the taxpayers. Making sure we have a great school system, making sure the police, the fire department are providing quality services and assistance. So really it's another state, but it's really a lot of the same type of thing. Government is government, and really I want to use that 25 years of experience I have to improve services that we have here in this area.
Talk to me about as far as the Hanson Town Hall and of course the Board of Selectmen. I mean, you'll be working hand in hand with them on a regular basis.
I got to tell you, I'm very honored to work with this group of people. They're a really talented group of people. I want to use their talent to help me. They have the experience in town. They have the knowledge of the town. They understand the politics, the dynamics of the town. Yeah. I need them to be partners with me so that we can improve services. So I'm very happy with the Board of Selectmen we have, and I'm really happy with the town hall staff that we have, particularly the Selectman's assistant, Mary, who's just dynamite. So we've got a group of talented people. Now it's putting them together as a team and making sure we can produce, for the citizens and what they want.
We probably have just less than a minute left in this particular segment. Have you heard from any residents? Have you heard from any citizens who might have already wanted to bend your ear about certain things?
Oh, I absolutely have. We've had a number of citizens come to town hall to talk to me. And frankly, everywhere I go, I introduce myself to people so I can hear what they have to say. I want to invite them to come to town hall to speak to me. Again, I want to have an open government, a very transparent government, one that includes everybody. So I'm kind of loud and boisterous sometimes. I'll go to a restaurant and I'll yell across the table, "How you doing?" and start a conversation. So I expect to do that. Citizens can approach me, feel comfortable about it, and I'm hoping to enjoy not only the government side of town, but I moved here, my home is here, I purchased a house already, I'm making a commitment to this town and to the taxpayers and the citizens who live here, and that's my intention going forward.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in your endeavors to be the town administrator for the town of Hanson. I'm sure we'll be speaking with you more.
We're going to do some community access. We're going to let people know what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to working with you too, Kevin. And together we can inform the people of the community what's going on.
Here is Mr. Ron Santangelo. We're going to step aside for a moment, but we'll come back with more News Now. Stay tuned.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
A new assisted living facility is set to open in the town of Hanson. Seth Dudley with All American Assisted Living took a moment to speak with News Now about the new development.
We're on the site of All American Assisted Living here in Hanson, Massachusetts. It's going to be a new assisted living community that's opening in the fall of 2013. Construction started in December 2012, and we're very excited to be bringing our model here to Hanson. In doing assisted living for 20 plus years, this community and this model is fairly innovative in the terms that we've really listened to our customer feedback from residents, families, and professionals, in that we wanted to be able to bring something different to the table. And one of those things in this economy has always been the cost. The cost of assisted living has been oftentimes prohibitive to many folks. We want to look at a model to be able to bring the same services, the same quality, all the same amenities to folks at a lower price point to allow a wider array of folks to be able to experience assisted living. And we've done that here at All American. The other piece that we have really found has been difficult in other communities is the isolation, depression, and loneliness that our residents feel even after they've moved into the larger communities. And oftentimes that's a driving force for families and elders themselves to make the transition to assisted living. But sometimes it feels like they just changed locations and address. Kind of the core problem hasn't gone away. And the way that we've kind of accomplished these two tasks is to build a community that's smaller. Instead of building a community, we like to say we're building a neighborhood. We've kind of brought the footprint down to about 48,000 square feet, where normally we would be building a community that's about 95,000 square feet, allowing for people to be much more well-known, to have more of a feeling of intimacy, more of a feeling of family, and really get to know the staff and the other residents as well. And we're offering 2-bedroom companion suites, which one allows us to bring the price point down, and 2 allows for the companionship that's so important for folks in terms of social interaction and such. Some of the amenities that you'll experience at the community will be 3 meals a day in our gourmet restaurant. We have a bistro, we have a movie theater, we have an arts and crafts area as well, a wellness and fitness center on our 2nd floor, and a library and parlor for folks to be able to relax and experience as well.
The Phantom Gourmet recently paid a visit to a restaurant in downtown Whitman. Here's News Now's correspondent Paul Watson with the details.
The town of Whitman has been playing host today to an anonymous celebrity. The Phantom Gourmet is shooting an episode at Uncle David's on the corner of Washington and Park Streets in downtown Whitman. We managed to interrupt owner David George for a few seconds to say a few words to us.
They came in this morning, kind of took over the place. We started cooking food one after another, and the flavors that we've got, they've captured it all here, and what they've tasted so far, I think they're pretty much blown away too.
Uncle David's, established over a year ago, is a Whitman burger and pizza shop that doesn't specialize in the same old fare. They have a rather unusual menu which is becoming a favorite with many people in the area. Inside you will find listed items with names like David Dia, Turkey Kufta, and what attracted the Phantom's attention, the Goober Burger. During a short break in production, segment producer Deb Hurley told News Now how they found out about the Whitman Eatery.
Well, we get leads from everywhere, from Facebook to people email us directly, to we monitor blogs and all sorts of things. But actually, my boss, the host and executive producer Dan Andelman, actually gave me this tip. We were looking for places for burgers and saw the menu online, and we had to come and check it out for ourselves.
While videographer Sean Finley was taping what is known in the business as beauty shots of Uncle David's delicious delicacies, owner David George explained how he discovered the Phantom was checking him out.
A few months ago, Deb came in and she purchased a burger and a fry and said she was swinging by, and I went to swipe out her credit card and I noticed that it was listed as Phantom Gourmet. And we started talking and telling her about some of the different burgers and pizzas and sandwiches that we make. And she took a little video that day and said we'll pitch it when she gets back from vacation. And obviously she did. And this is why they are here now, because we are filming for the Phantom Gourmet.
The episode is tentatively scheduled to air in late October. Paul Watson, News Now.
In our final story, News Now had a chance to visit the Masons' annual flea market and see what they had to offer bargain hunters this year.
What is going on today is a flea market operated by the Wampatuck Masons. This flea market has been operating maybe 20 or 25 years. And the main gist of the flea market is to raise money for charities supported by the Masons. And we do a lot of things. Some of them are not widely advertised, but it's been a lot of fun working on this flea market to the point where this year we have close to 100 vendors. This is a quiet day on the 11th of August. The vendors were selling everything from soup to nuts, as the saying goes, pre-owned items, craft items. It's fun for the Masons who work. 50 of the Wampatuck Lodge members work on every phase of the flea market, having fun, greeting old friends. One of our vendors spoke to me yesterday. She's been coming here for over 20 years, and she still comes back every year just to sell the items that she collects and just having fun, and she's making some money too.
What we do with the money, once we sell the furnishings and stuff, we donate that money to the Hanson Food Pantry, Halifax Food Pantry, the scholarship funds that we have every year, and also we promote Toys for Tots that we give to several churches, the toys, and other charitable endeavors that we do during the course of a year.
That's all the time we have for this edition. Until next time, I'm Kevin Tocci, and you've been watching News Now.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. Get Fire Adapted now. Learn simple steps at fireadapted.org.